Hey everyone, and welcome to today's tech tip. For today, I thought we would just do a refresher on a tech tip that was done in the past, but we've since updated the tool a little bit. So for anyone familiar with the lock panel, this was a command that we basically use for Onyx, and it could also be used individually, but it basically places a full framing lock on the panel. So it prevents any kind of regenerating, so you can't make any changes whatsoever to that panel. What we've since added is this secondary option called a framing lock. So this one was created to be able to basically use any kind of post-processing tools on your panel. So if you want to use the MEP Clash, if you want to add whole series after the fact, you can still do that with a framing lock. It prevents any other type of modifications, but you can at the very least run those post-processing tools. So I'll put a framing lock on this, and you can also put in a comment to it, just like we could before. So with any of the locks, once you actually run the locking command, you'll have an overlay, and if you click on it, it'll just show that your panel's been locked. So it'll be an overlay of a locked panel. But with the framing lock in particular, like I mentioned, you can still run some whole series tools, and it can still be used with MEP Clash. So if I wanted to maybe just run a quick marker line so I can punch out my studs, I'll use the marker line option. And you know what? Let's actually punch it out vertically. So we'll get a hole on our nogging and we'll get them on our tracks as well. So I'll just add a marker line, simple enough, just at 2 feet from the start of my panel. So I can put that marker line in there. If I try and do again a global regenerate, so just a basic regen with the tool, you'll get this type of pop-up. It's going to tell you that it's locked. If you want to run this type of regen, that you just have to unlock it. With the whole series though, there is a separate regen in the tools, and this works with the framing lock. So again, you can put in your markers, and then I can just tell it to regenerate the whole series. And once that regen is done, then I'll actually see my studs, or in this case, my noggings and my tracks punched out. And there you go. It's still locked. Of course, I can't, it's still locked, so I can't go ahead and regenerate it with any other tool, but it does let you add in your whole series. And all of these other deleting and editing whole series options will still work on a locked panel. So the idea with the framing lock again is just to be able to use post-processing tools on a panel that's locked. Another good example of this for your MEP Clash. Again, I'm going to go ahead and just do the framing lock. And when I run MEP Clash on this guy, again, it's a post-processing tool separate from a panel regen. So it's going to be able to run these types of whole series. And once you do have a framing lock on there and you ran your MEP Clash or your whole series, you could always go back as well and put a full lock on the panel. That changes the overlay a little bit to a bit of a darker red. But basically now if I did try and run a processing thing like MEP Clash or to add in whole series, I'd get again that same error message pop up that the panel is locked and I would need to unlock it to run the MEP Clash. So that's it for today's tech tip, guys. I hope some of you found it useful. So again, 2 different stages of locking. The framing lock is just meant to be able to work with the post-processing tools a little bit more. And as per usual with any of the locks, you could always unlock it to get back into your panel.